Oh, I'm live. Sorry, I thought I was waiting for the intro that we usually do.
Oh yeah, turn it off.
Hello, I'm Cynthia, and this is Azalea, and we are Green Girl Studios, and this is our Wednesday edition of our Magic Hour. And today I have a kit that we had featured maybe I don't know how many months ago. It was a while
A few
ago.
months ago. We sound funny because we're very sick.
Yeah. Azalea, I think she has tonsillitis or something, and I just have a regular cold. And I think it'll go away soon. You know, I'm one of those type of people that tries to power through it. That doesn't always work, but Azalea's like, I hate power through. Yeah, I'm also not a fan. Oh, if you're wondering, I put this necklace on. This is from a sample I did from the book that I made a while ago called Enchanted Adornments. It's been a long time. Azalea was helping me. She was perhaps 7 or 8. She was blending the polymer clay. She had it all. At that time, we watched the show called Rivers and Tides by, it was like a documentary with Andy Goldsworthy. And she would say, oh, in my work. Like she's talking about her work, and she would be rolling out all the polymer clay for me. So this is a polymer clay piece that Azalea helped me condition all the clay. It was pretty fun.
That's cute.
Oh, hello, my friends. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Tina. Hello, my friend Clem. Hello, hello. Oh, need to switch to Facebook. Is it not working? Is everything working? I can see and hear all the comments because we're using StreamYard, so we can see it all. All right. Hello, Wendy. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Cecilia. Hello, my friends. Yeah, I'll give you a closer look. This has, I can see it. I actually made 3 of these because you have to do step outs when you do a book. Hello, Nilda. Hello, Tina. Hello, Lori. Azalea has 2. She picked out 2 giveaways. I'm sitting here putting this in front of me. I haven't even changed the camera angle. Goofy. So goofy. Hello, my friends. Hello, Lori. Hello, Sharon. Hello. Hey, Pat. Thank you all for joining me today. All right, I'm going to switch this camera around. So you can see what I've been doing besides standing around.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the necklace I was wearing earlier, if you were noticing it. So this is polymer clay that was polished on a buffing wheel. So it gives it that high gloss, but there's nothing glossy. Even though it kind of looks like I glossed it, I used a buffing wheel with a cloth wheel. I think I made another one that had the resin piece. This one has yellowed a little bit because, this was white at first and it was clouds. There's like a little piece of the sky in there. Hello, Diane. Hello, Julie. Hello, Cynthia. Thank you for joining me. So this one has my mixed materials. You can see how I like to do the link. And I don't know what you call this. A beaded loop? Bead loop? But it's a fun way to add. So if you have small beads, it's good. So you can mix and match. And here's where I talk about in previous lives, I've talked about adding that little extra little bit of sugar sparkle. That's this action here. And you can see any opportunity that I had to hang stuff on, I took it. So I put this clasp on. That's the one of my favorite clasps. And, boy, that's a good piece of kyanite right there. I wish I could find that again. Look at that. You just don't see them. Like this big, smooth, juicy. It's almost like a gummy bear. This looks like smoky quartz here. And it looks like I bent my own PMC caps on those. That's a bent cap. And there's another beaded loop. That's using stuff like this. So, with this in mind,
Ask them.
Hey, y'all. How's the connection?
We're plugged directly into the router today.
We found a long 30-foot cord, and we plugged directly into the router this time. So
it better be the most
like
clear
the most.
4K,
Yeah, I was gonna say it must be.
FPS you've ever seen.
Oh, and look at this piece of. Yeah, this is a good piece too. That's a good piece of. That looks like actually. Yeah, that's kind of. Carolyn says the pic is clear and good. Bonnie says, "Hi, Green Girls. Looks great."
Perfect news.
I have a book coming. It's supposed to be here any minute. It's a new book on minerals. I can't wait. I have the window open. So, Diane says, connection is great except for your stuffy noses. Yes, if I could do something about that. I took medicine beforehand, so we'll see. So this is the kit. What did I say this was? And it's on the trunk show, or is it on the kit page?
Oh, it's the water lily kit. It's not on the trunk show page. I'm gonna drop a link directly to the listing right now.
Oh, hello, Connie. Connie is our neighbor in Asheville. Connie, if you have a website that you'd like to share your work, drop it in the comments section.
Oh yeah, don't forget to comment #pewter.
Yeah.
These we're gonna do 2 drawings tonight. These are two pewter.
These are 2
large unicorns.
Favorite.
What does it say on the back?
It says, "May the spark of magic follow you always."
Slay.
This one was good. I did a really beautiful, if I don't mind saying so myself, finish on this. It was really pretty, and I think I sold it, so I can't show it to you. But I used pigment powders. And maybe I'll do a thing with that again because that was really fun. Oh, Connie went to the Biltmore estate today for a beautiful walk. My friend Joanne, she was there yesterday. I went on a bike ride and missed out, but I was sick anyway, so it's probably better that I'm not walking around spreading it. Oh, Bonnie says she's getting over norovirus. That sounds horrendous. That doesn't sound great. Oh, Emily, thank you. Loves the unicorn pendants. Thank you. I just saw on an Instagram ad, it said King Tut's exhibit will be at the Biltmore. Oh, wow. So I definitely want to see that. I will be headed that way as soon as that happens. So I'm going to show you how to build one of these. It looks random in a lot of ways. But I mean, I guess random's not the right word for it. Like it's definitely has some kind of symmetry, but it's more like visual balance. And I've talked about that before. And what that means is that if you have something on this side, you need it on the other for balance. But it doesn't have to be the same size or shape. You want to give it or the color doesn't have to be exactly the same. It's a visual balance. So like this whole thing here doesn't have exactly the same amount of, or maybe it does. There are 3 links here, 3 links here. So maybe there was some, I guess I did do that pretty symmetrically, but the links are a different shape. Vera says she has shingles. I've never had shingles, but it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound like something I would want. Someone told me to go get my shingle shot. It was like kind of a tongue twister. All right, so if you're going to make a type of necklace where you have small beads making loops, you'll need Softlex in whatever colors you like. I have a couple colors. Sarah gave me this one not that long ago, and I love it. And I think it goes well. I think it's a better match. You can use whatever kind of bead cord. I'm a diehard Softlex fan, and the reason being, and here's my main reason, is that I have necklaces from when I first started. I mean, I'm talking like I don't even know. I don't want to put an age on it because I'm going to get it wrong, but let's just say a long time, 20 years at least. And those necklaces that I made, nothing happened. They're the same. But you know what? I have other necklaces that I can't say the same. So I believe that it is a good product. They started, it was a Mike and Scott of the Soft Looks. We just saw Scott in Tucson. Azalea got to meet him for the first time, although she does not remember this, but they met you at Bead and Button, like, I don't know how many years ago, like 10, 15 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Why is this so hard to get off right now? There we go. There's some kind of little thing holding it in place. All right, there we go. And if it gets a kink in it, you can kind of do one of these. You can get it. I'm reading. I can see briefly. Oh, someone said, well, let me see. What is it? I just went fast. Will you be restocking the unicorn pendants? Azalea, maybe you need to give it a check and restock them.
Those big unicorns?
Yeah. Bonnie says, I'm back on peyote. I'm behind on these comments. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to get your cord, whatever kind of cord, and you want to have crimps. I think I have crimps over here in this big pile of stuff.
I believe, actually, I know why we removed the unicorns for a short time, because I believe Dad had an issue with the mold.
Oh.
So we couldn't, like, if we had sold them, then we would have been in trouble. But I'll ask him about that.
Would you mind getting me the crimps downstairs from our selection? Right, oh, you brought all that stuff upstairs.
Yeah, I was working on it earlier.
All right, so in this kit, it looks like a bunch of gemstones. Looks like, that looks like tourmaline. This is rainbow tourmaline. Rainbow tourmaline, golden lepidolite. I'm going to go closer, I think. And zoom it in. It's a little bit better. Yeah, it doesn't seem like having shingles seems like that would be very fun.
No, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't like that story. Someone else I knew. When did I hear that? I feel like I heard about that pretty recently. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making piles. Oh, this is why. This one was not a cheap date because it was rainbow tourmaline, pink opal, and looks like aquamarine.
Yeah, that water lily was a nice one.
Mm-hmm. It's really pretty. What I'm doing is making piles. You know, my favorite thing is to make these piles. Let's see if that's, let me check that. Hey, I heard something on the stairway. What I'm separating here is what I'm going to make for the loops. See, I'm going to do these loops here. And make some kind of a pattern. This is a rose quartz that has little black flecks of mica. You know, I got my book out of peyote stitch. That's funny y'all are working on it because I also pulled out my peyote stitch stuff, and Azalea and I was just talking about.
Yeah, I was teaching Lucky how to do peyote stitch like the other week.
Mm-hmm. That's smart. Sometimes Azalea, I guess I'm not going to tell this because it makes me sound insensitive. Because I was giving him a hard time the other day.
Giving him a hard time?
Yeah, remember I said, did he hear the flutes? What was it I said to him? So if anybody watches King of the Hill from like a long time ago, does anybody remember John Redcorn?
I'm John Redcorn's girlfriend.
Azalea's John Redcorn's girlfriend.
Going back to like 13 years old, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. So I'm making piles, and this is how I make my necklaces. It's not very, I don't know. But these are going to be my loops.
You like piles of beads.
I do like piles of beads. It'll come together. It'll come together. Y'all will see. Pat, how did you get shingles twice? How do you get shingles number 1? Bonnie says, yes, he's my son's favorite. Well, every time he comes onto the scene, his hair is blowing in the wind, and he has some kind of like words of wisdom. And I was like,
Talking about hearing the whispers in the leaves and the trees and stuff.
it's
so okay.
good.
We're allowed to make jokes about this. Lockie said it's okay.
Yeah, just so you know, we got permission.
We got permission. He thinks it's funny.
He's not secretly like
He's
upset and crying or anything. Like
crying. I'm gonna tell him he said that. Crying sensitively.
All right, I'm gonna try and make this style. I may have been a little over enthusiastic in what my capabilities are right now, but we'll see. We'll just see what happens. We'll start it anyway. The good thing about a necklace like this, here's the best part. Here's my very favorite part, is that you could make this part, see, you could just start with a loop and then add beads. And then you could even stop it like this much and then keep, you know what, just set it aside until you feel like working on it again, or like unless you're sick and you can be like, oh, I'll get to it when I feel better. You can absolutely do that. And so this, look at this. This is the same thing. A loop here, and a loop here. Melanie says purse. I don't know what you're saying, purse. Oh, Pat says it's a virus. You can get it over and over. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was like, I don't know why I was thinking of like getting, you know, somebody said don't walk underneath pine trees. And I was like, well, I'm screwed then because I like to walk under pine trees. Yeah. All right, here's how you start it. I didn't cut anything yet. Everything's still on the cord. Add yourself a crimp and then find your smallest beads. I might grab some of these little plated, I think they're plated. I brought them up. Where'd those two big bowls of beads go?
They're right here.
Can you pass them to me?
Yeah, here. I almost fell. That would have been terrible.
That would have been super terrible because this, look at this, what would have been falling, all of that. I store my beads in giant bowls. And by giant, I mean like cereal bowl size. It's not giant. I don't know why I said giant.
It feels giant because it's so heavy.
They're heavy. That's true. And then I didn't even use them. That's how it goes sometimes. All right, I'm going to fish out all the blue ones. So I didn't cut this yet. I'm going to cut it here in a second when I decide how long it's going to be. And this is going to make a loop that I can either make in the middle or on the end. Oh, I should put this where you can see it. So this is not on the website right now?
The unicorns?
Yeah.
I guess not.
And we can't check it because we're live.
Yeah, I have no device to do it on.
You can't do it on your phone?
You're using my phone.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see. Is that long enough? No, it's not. Oh, Carolyn says, we need to send you those woven baskets with tops for your stacks. I have a couple of them. But you know what's funny is if it's out of sight, sometimes it's out of mind for me.
Sorry, I'm sniffling in the background.
Well, I'm sniffling in the foreground, so I'm trying not to. All right. So if you make one of these little gemstone loops, one thing is you can put smaller beads if you want a smoother transition, like at this connection point.
Here's that link to that kit again. It's one of my favorites because it's got pink and yellow. I love pink.
I didn't used to be into pink and yellow. But lately, I have been. And you know what started it was that one necklace that had that that bead from African Village that I managed to find, those really dark, like saturated pink, or I mean yellow, and then I never saw them again.
Dang.
Yeah, it can happen. You just have to keep going back. All right, so that's the beginning. It's a little loop. All manner of creatures are going to fly in. I've got the window wide open. I didn't do that right, but I did not see my what you call it, crimpers. So I just went and flattened them. You all get the idea. So I'm going to take, maybe I'll make the piece like this long. If it's not long enough, I can always cut it off. Bonnie says, I love the beaded loops. You know, I also love the beaded loops. And you know what? You can hide this under a crimp cover if you don't like it. That's one of my favorite little hacks. So what I'm going to do, if I can, I have where is it? There needs to be some organization happening in here. I already told Joanne that I would cast whatever she wanted if she would come help me organize. And she was like, done. So that's going to take place. And we're going to organize the studio again. I mean, I feel like I just did it, but, you know, I don't know. I can always do it again.
It's not too hard.
No, it's not.
Just got to set aside time for it.
You just have to make the time. What y'all are talking about? Cynthia says, what is your temperature up there? I think it's in the 70s. Oh, Wendy, there can be bears in the garage right now. You never know. They don't really mess with people. Not here.
Just the trash.
They just get in the trash. Yeah, I don't love how that looks. I want to cover it right now, but I have to wait. Have y'all seen these? These are really cute. These little... Our neighbor is having they're turning the house next door into an Airbnb.
Somebody's got a big old monster truck. That's what y'all are hearing right now.
That's our neighbor across the street. They have a huge monster truck. Very unfriendly. I wave at that guy every time I see him, and he just stares at my face.
He's minding his business.
But I'm going to be that neighbor that's annoyingly friendly. Picture Jim Carrey from, what's that movie where he's like, The Truman Show. Good morning, good evening, and good night. It's like me. So this is a bead or crimp cover. So you could put it right over top of it. But I usually wait after. Because sometimes you can find, I need to find my, I have a crimp tool that can round this off because now it's flat. Right. We'll just move on. I'm going to put these, I think yellow would be the prettiest next to this. Yeah, I don't know why this guy's not very friendly. Poor Vera. I got food poison which compromised my immune system. Then I developed shingles again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That sounds horrendous. No, I don't love the blue like that. I don't know. Or I mean the yellow and blue. Maybe it should start off more with pink. I'm filled with indecision, but I'm just going to roll with it and see what happens. Maybe another pink one. Sometimes just making something, even if it's not going how you want it to go, is kind of like, I think of it like healing. Like the action itself. Like even though I've been sick, both Azalea and I have been sitting there like crafting.
Yeah, I've been knitting like
She's
crazy.
been knitting, just quietly crafting or doing whatever. Like I have to do these watercolors for package design that I'm working on. And I showed a little bit of that a couple months ago. And I'm winding it up. But some of these projects take months and months. Like I had those carved frogs. Well, the carved frogs are finally in. It took several months for the carvers to finish it up. And we have like 5 gemstones. These all have great big holes. I just can't see them. I'm going to put these other glasses on. Bonnie says, it takes my mind off how I feel. Yeah. I hope I don't get shingles. I've heard, I think Joanne was telling me about shingles and how awful it is. Yeah, right now it's feeling a tiny bit like it needs something else. And I have these too that I could put on there as dangles. Could be a dangle, could be earrings. Might save those for earrings. I like these as earrings. Like that. It's like a fruit. Which reminds me, I'm working on a kit with our friend Ann Gardan. She has the most gorgeous bead caps. I have some over here that I was working with the other day and just deliberating with. I set them aside. I love it when I get a tourmaline that has both the pink and green in it. Sandra says they have shingle shots. Wendy says, I'll come stay in an Airbnb and help you organize. Once we both get better, I've got a sinus infection that won't go away. I start my second round of IV infusions tomorrow. Ugh. Well, that would be nice. That would be nice to have a whole crew.
How
you know,
fun.
I watched this show, or I watched all of them and I watched them twice. Did y'all ever see the home edit? I was obsessed for a while. As I was like, Mom, enough with the home edit. I was like, never enough. They put all the books in rainbow order. It drove me a little bit crazy because then I was like, how will you ever find anything? But they did. Oh, can I see? Let me see. Greg knows what I like.
I heard you saying it on the live.
You did hear it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's smaller than I thought. Thank you for bringing it up. So I ordered this book, The Minerals Encyclopedia. It just arrived. Cool. Then I can identify so many of these weird stones that, you get some of these specimen stones and you're like, what the heck is that? A lot of times you have to do the scratch test. Oh, yay. I'm going to be reading this tonight. What's that bulbous business? Oh, there's my favorite. You guys know tourmaline. Yes. What a pretty book. And I'm surprised at how small it is. It's like, look, the size of my hand. So it's like, nice. The Essential Guide to Rare and Beautiful Minerals. Perfect. All right. I love these. I'm going to look this stone up. It's one of my favorites for this. Stones come and go in fashion. And I got it on Amazon. You don't have to get it on Amazon. I don't know why I did that. But it's because I have Prime. Azalea's been talking to me about overconsumption. And I try not to be one of those people that buys a lot of stuff, because it's just not good, buying a lot of stuff. But I buy art supplies. And I try to buy from local or small businesses. I was just looking at these new paints I've had my eye on. There's a gal that makes gemstone paints. I love that one. I'm going to set that one aside for earrings. How about those? Those will make good earrings. I'm not even done with this project, and I'm already setting aside stuff for another. This could even be a bracelet, too, but I don't know if I made that long enough. I don't think I did. Oh, Wendy says, hi, Greg. He was talking about, he goes, maybe I'll do a live. And I was like, all right, perfect. I'll jump on that. If he wants to make some jewelry. You know what? I have never had one of my designs on the bead and button cover. And he submits for the first time. And he got on the cover. You believe that?
Huh. Hey.
I was like, what is this? He made a macrame necklace. I will say it's pretty cool. I did not make a macrame necklace, so that might account for why I didn't get on the cover. All right. Okay, so that's like, I think I'm going to get ready to, this is one section. And I don't feel like it's necesito to use different, or like, see, these are labradorite balls, spheres, beads that are rounds. Carolyn says, did you make a lily pad metal focal? I think I saw your fish one. Yeah, I have that. There's a one with koi. What's Saunders saying? Cynthia, you have inspired me to make a color book necklace, block necklace. Never made one, or of all my jewelry making. I'm always so symmetrical. Love your lives. Thank you. I love color blocking. And I didn't used to do it. I was very monochromatic for a long time. If I made a necklace, it was going to be in the same color family. And that was years and years of making jewelry. Like, here's a necklace. I wore this one. This is some of my early, but very monochromatic. And you can see I never get tired. It's like I learned that trick a long time ago and I never got tired of it. It's a good way to showcase a piece. So this is a really good ammonite that my friend Gary Wilson drilled a long, long time ago. And it features that same kind of small beads. And then finish it out with chain. It goes like this. And it hooks up here. So that's like not symmetrical either. But see, the colorway is all the same family. It's more like, I don't know how you describe that. I think that's just more monochromatic or a single color family. It's only in recent years that I've started doing this, that I've been more attracted to really colorful necklaces. And I really like necklaces that I can wear in different directions. And I think part of that is when I'm traveling, I don't like to carry a bunch of stuff. So I try to make, if I make a necklace like these ones I've been making, where, if you have, it's pretty long, and say you have a shirt that you want this color to be the front, that can be in the front. And if the clasp is small enough to rotate, it's almost like having several different necklaces, because the different color will show. Because a lot of times only the front of your necklace, unless you have short hair. But my hair usually blocks the necklace of the back of the necklace. All right. I think I'm going to switch to some of these. These were plated. And I looked, when I went to Tucson, I looked around to find some silver hill tribe, and I did not find any hill tribe that I wanted. It was all like, I don't know, it just wasn't what I was looking for. Kind of annoying. I mean, I found some, but not a lot. You can use seed beads for this. I just prefer these little metal ones. And they even make seed beads that are they look like metal. Some that look like pearls. Don't look like anything anymore. And keep in mind, I don't know what I'm making. There's like no rhyme or reason to this. All I know is that I want to make links. And the best part of it is that you can, if you wire wrap these small components, it's like a modular system of necklace making. It's like the opposite of when you're making a stranded or a knotted necklace, because everything is planned out ahead of time. This is not planned at all. And if you have the same color family or a colorway that works together, in this case, pink, yellow, and blue, it should be fine. It'll go together. If they're on the color wheel and they sit close to each other around the same, like if you think about it like a lunch table, If they sit close, then they'll work together always. Let me illustrate that. Here's a color wheel. This is one that you can get at like Cheap Joe's or whatever. And in this, I have yellow and pink and blue. So this is more of like, I don't know what you call that, tertiary color wheel. I can't remember the names of it. The names of them are irrelevant. Like, to me, it seems like I can never remember it. But if they're across the way, you know, they will work together. Or if they're all aligned, they work together. Or like this, it's like split complementary or some business. Actually, if I'm looking close, they name it here. So this is a good one. They have a great big one. But I like this. I have like 3 or 4 of them. And they're all in the same place, oddly enough. All on the same table. I don't know why. Melanie says, I just ordered some Hill Tribe for the first time. Bonnie got some. What'd you get? Oh, Etsy. Yeah, I get some from Etsy too. Actually, you know, I get a lot of stuff I like to buy from my friends, and I did not see, and that was part of it. It's like I like to buy from people I know because I've been burned before with silver, and I don't like that feeling. Sometimes you get it and then find out later that it's actually not silver. So I don't like that, especially if I'm selling. If I say it's silver, it better be silver. All right, I'm going to crimp that. Hey, are those crimping pliers over there? I don't want to use these anymore. These are okay, but they're kind of... I got the fine... These are some fine tip. I didn't even know I had those. Oh, perfect. Oh, hello, Robin. If you guys are just joining, this is our giveaway today. And remember, you have to stay till the end. That's the whole trick. That's the whole...
Oh, the trick.
That's the whole... What do they call it when you're like... I don't know. They have all these... not trick. Trick's the wrong word. All right, so I didn't crimp this yet, but I'm going to do it now. So this is a crimping plier. This is from Xuron. They're my favorites. And so there's different, if you look carefully, see how there's different. And you just pop that in there, find that size, but make sure, you know what I've done? I've cracked beads because I didn't leave myself enough room. You just flatten. Did it even do anything? Oh, I need to get in the middle. Oh, I need to be here. There, I did it. I know it goes, I'm like silent doing this one part. So there it is. I did it right on that time. So it doesn't, and I'll fix the other side. And I went through the second. I don't like when if it sticks out here, I usually put it through another one. If I can fit it all as many times as I can through there, I will do it. Because I don't like this one to come up and be like a thorn. Let me see if I can push that through. Through 2 beads, it's better. There, that's better. And then I'll pinch it off. This is some really pretty, I don't know if you can see this, but this soft flex is a really pretty rich gold. This was first developed to pull in marlins for sport fishing. My brother, who is an avid fisherman, was like, "Oh yeah, I used to buy that when they had another name for it way back when soft flex used to be for making, or when they just did fishing line." And he was like, "Oh, I used to have that." He pulled it out of his tackle box, and I was like, "I need to take a picture and send that to Mike or to Sarah. Somebody needs to see this." But not Mike. I can't believe I just said that. That was a gaffe. All right. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I'm probably going to find Ideally, I love a big bead with this, like a really big bead. What do I have? I have some of these left over. I have a couple of these, and those are really pretty. Wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't that be juicy? That would be juicy right there. Or maybe some of these rubies would look good. I don't think we have any of these left. Do we have any more of those left, Azalea? These slices?
Yeah.
Oh, if you're looking for good rubies, these are great. And how pretty they are. They have a great big hole. That's the best part. And, well, the best part is their color and their sparkle. No. So I could, in theory, keep making these sections in different sizes. I'm going to make a small section now with this. But I don't know if I'm going to hook it. Maybe I'll hook it. And it's fun. If you're making these modular ones, you could make it, you know, it'd be really cool is make one like all turquoise and then one that's like all coral. It would be really cool. And then maybe the loops are all gold or brass. I was rationing this. This is a good one. Yeah, Liz says, I use that gold wire too. It works great. It's so good. Carolyn has a good tip. I try to put my fingernail near the crimp to give it a little space for crimping. Yeah, that is a good tip. You know, I want to make these into earrings because they're so sparkly. Right, I think part of me wants to get a whole nother kit out.
Right.
Is that crazy talk?
Yeah.
It is crazy talk. I'm mixing and matching. It's hard for me. But I want to use this kit. So there you go. Put those little pieces of the components. Oh, and I didn't see this little bird in there. That's cute. I made that a long time ago. Look how cute that bird is.
Put a bird on it.
Put a bird on it. Right, maybe I'll do... And you know, I was thinking about, and I had just had these in my pocket. So this is a sterling moon. Isn't that cute? Oh, this is that Shibuichi. I don't think this is on anything, because this has been in my pocket for a minute.
You got stuff in your pocket like that?
Yeah.
Huh. What you doing with that?
I was thinking about it. Now I don't know what I'm going to make yet. But sometimes, you know, I'm just thinking out loud. Getting wild. You know how it is when you're getting wild with your bead stuff. But you know what's the best part is when you're kind of backed into a corner and you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to make. And then you grab like a kit. And I get them from my friends. Like this is one I've been, and sometimes I send them to my friends. You send them a little something and then you have to take it to the show. And that's what you have to use. And whatever else is in your beading kit. And that's it. And then it's like those cook-off shows, you know, like, and I almost said Project Runway, but y'all know what I meant. It's like Project Runway for food. Like Iron Chef. They could do a bead, you know, they have done. They call it the, what do they call that design challenge thing? I don't remember what it's called. Anyway. I was happy to find these gem lepidolite. And you know what? When we were in Tucson, I didn't see them. I looked all over. And it's like, there it is. That's it. That's what I was talking about. With sometimes you get something and you like it. Sometimes you cannot find it again. So it's kind of like, it's like seasonal offerings. You know, you'll be like, yes, those are good. But sometimes I just can't get them anymore. This is a good part. Look at this. This is tourmaline, but in that strand, there was so much of this, what they call indicolite. That's that teal blue. It's the rarest color of tourmaline. All right, what am I thinking? I want that, or do I want this? What's your thoughts? my friends. And it doesn't have to be like this. I'm thinking about maybe putting another bead here. And you can see when you make a modular necklace, it goes by really fast because you have, say this is like a section of, how big is that section? About 6 inches. It doesn't take many sections if you work like that, because then you have, and one of the other things, this is very Sundance. And it's, I don't like to say it's a cheat, but it's kind of a fast way to finish it up. Say you have this, like if this were Sundance, they would have already, this would already have leather, and it would be like this.
And turquoise.
And turquoise. This would not be these colors, but it would be turquoise. And this would be leather. And so if you have these modular type components where you're like, okay, so this is a 6-inch section, you could actually, if you wanted to, you could go like this too. And pin from this direction. Say if you're like, oh, I like this.
I like that kit.
Me too.
You did a good job making that little sample. That's cute.
It's a little modular. That's how I made this. Because I started, you know how I started this? I started from this side. This is where I started. I started here. I didn't know quite what I wanted to make with it. And I had to redo this necklace a couple times. And by redo, I mean I didn't actually cut it up. It was, I just put them together like how I'm doing now. And then looked at it and I was like, I could use this, this, or this. So anyway. So we're doing 2 drawings. Don't forget, put in pewter exactly as it is here in this hashtag. No caps, no
spaces.
No spaces. These are the silver ones, by the way. They have a little bit different look now, and they're heavier. Some say, hey, is there any difference? The difference is that silver is heavier than pewter. This is pewter, and this is lighter right now, lighter than this piece right here in my hand, this moon. Weird, I know. And you know what? Gold is even heavier than silver. So I'm going to let's make another section. And then the fun part is that you can just put them together. What I might do, Terry says, let's see. I think making stations like that is a great way to create something for later projects, just to scratch that make thing itch. Yes, I agree. Sometimes you just want to make something. And I have a bunch of these sitting around, but they're all I tend to make them, this is not going to surprise anyone, in labradorite. So all I need to come up with is my big stones. Or if I'm not even going to do big stones, it could be another just passage of like this. You know, let's see what that looks like. Or it could be ribbon. You know, you could change it up. It could be a link, like something this shape. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things you can do. This one hasn't been, it's so thick, I couldn't even punch it. It's so thick. So it's been sitting on my workstation till I can bring it downstairs and drill it. Oh, Katney says, love all those pieces. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So this is starting to look, I don't know. I tend to like to I'll make a couple more sections. You know, I don't know why I didn't do this before, but you could make them in different colors. I'm probably not going to do that now because I've mixed and matched it. All right, I'm going to start another one. I think I'm not going to use that yellow, but I know I want some more of these. These are silver-plated brass, and I can tell they're brass just by the weight. I can hold this and be like, yeah, that's way too light to be silver. These are silver. I can feel it, the weight. And I couldn't find that many of them. And I have heard, a friend of mine was telling me that a lot of crafts like that are they're in higher demand in the States, but in places like Thailand, the people don't want to do it. It's like the next generation, the young people are like, yeah, that looks like too much work. and they don't want to do it anymore. Which I don't blame them, because this looks tedious. Although I did see how some of it was made, and it looked pretty labor intensive. And some of it didn't look that labor intensive. Like some beads I saw being made that my friend took a picture or video, of how they make these drop beads in silver, and they have molten silver and they drop it into a bucket of cold water. And the farther up you are, the more round the beads are, which is why you have like those tall towers that you've probably seen, like made out of brick. That's what they used to make shot out of. It's like you could drop the lead from 10 feet. It might be an oblong, but if you let it drop from 20, by the time it gets down to it hits the water, it has formed a circle, or a sphere, because everything like that molten type, I shouldn't say everything, because a lot of things, I don't know all the components. I'm not a chemist or a metallurgist. It wants to go round. It's the same with glass. When you heat glass up, its natural shape is to make bulbous sort of forms. Yeah, every time I do this, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be quiet while I do it.
You gotta focus.
Gotta focus. Right, how long do I want this piece to be? Maybe the same. Doesn't have to be the same. Could be shorter. Could be longer. If you make them like this size, that makes it easy. Boy, I wish I could find more of those. Yeah, that would be good. And this has tarnish. That's why I have that nice patina. That's over many years. Of course, you could always just use liver of sulfur. Oh, thank you. I see JNR's mom says, hi, Cynthia and Azalea. Enjoying this. Learning new skills from you. Thank you. Bonnie says, I am the worst crimper. Bonnie, it takes practice. And I would argue that I'm the worst crimper because I don't want to say I'm impatient. It's not impatient. I think a lot of times my hand will slip or something will slip. And I won't be able to get it. It'll be like cockeyed or something. It's just, it's kind of annoying. Now, what do I want to put on there? I kind of want to do that, but I really would love to find maybe we'll make some caps out of something. I want caps. I want these caps. But you know what's annoying is that you can't, silver clay is like a thing of the past. I can get bronze clay, but it's not the same thing as silver clay. That was good times when that was readily available. Oh, the golden age. I think of it that way. Maybe it'll come back. You never know. Where we used to have, I don't know if anybody remembers this, but when we used to have 15 bead and jewelry magazines. There was lapidary artist, there was bead and button, beadwork, stringing, wirework cafe. There's ones I'm missing. Did I say stringing already?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe there wasn't 15, but it seemed like there were 15 bead magazines. All right, I'm going to go with more of this blue. I love it. Yeah, Diane says, that's why they make crimp covers to hide. Connie says, I cracked a peridot bead earlier today crimping. Ugh, I hate when that happens. Ugh, it's never fun. And so many local shops. Bonnie, yes. And I do miss the magazines. I loved magazines. I still love magazines. Now I think I only ever get Enchanted Living. That's kind of like Fairy Magazine because there's a lot of beautiful photography. I love all the crafting magazines too. And I had Made. I think you can still get that one. There's another small one that's really good. It's called Make. I don't know if they still make that one. This is kind of we're going off script. So you can make things work together if, see how this is that section. And so I'm kind of doing, a little bit of I don't know. So I've already closed this loop. So what I need is something in the middle. Bonnie says, I wouldn't have found you if it weren't for COVID. Oh, well, good. I mean, not good, but you know what I mean. Or I could do it on this side. So, when you have a palette that's already done, that's one of the bonuses. You don't have to think too much because it'll already work. It'll just kind of make itself. And, a lot of these tricks that I've learned of making like different jewelry techniques is because I didn't have the tools that I needed at a show. And I needed, like, example, I would have like a new piece, several new pieces, and I'd be like, I didn't have time to make a necklace. So what am I going to do? And I dump out my bag onto this very platform that I got from Sun, from Ezel Designs. And I'd look around and say, okay, what do I have? And I usually had like one small bag of beads, and I would have to make it work. And it was usually before the show opened. And unless somebody was my neighbor and had some beads that they were like, hey, these would look good with that. Like Laura, she was always my go-to. I'd say, Laura, what you got for me? And I'd go run over. But a lot of times I'd have to be making it before the show opened to display my new design. And I'd have to be like, okay, what can I make with these colors? And sometimes it would work. And you'd get something really pretty. Sometimes it would look like a disaster. And even then, it's still, not too bad. One time I had only silk ribbon and pony beads. Lord have mercy. I cut that up as soon as I got home. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see how this is looking with this. So how are all these components? Melanie says, I found you on Lima Beads. Lima Beads, we go back real far back. I love those guys. We met at the Botanical Gardens in Milwaukee when she was pregnant with when Allie was pregnant with her first child. Or maybe, I was pregnant with Azalea. That's right. That's how that went. I was pregnant first because she gave me these little blankets for Azalea. I still have them in a cupboard. Not that I'm saving all that stuff. They're painting rags now. But that's how far back. And it was funny. The editor of Bead and Button magazine came up to me and said, hey, Cynthia, I've got this gal. She's opening a store. You might want to talk to her. And she introduced us. And that's how they've been customers, and we've been in communication with them for like 20 years now. I'm looking at these and getting the color that I like. Some of them are a little darker than others. It kind of, this lepidolite looks a lot like selenite to me. Oh, Diane says, cloth, paper, scissors. I missed that for all the multimedia. Yeah, that was a good one. Oh, those days. Does anyone remember the Art Fest days? And do you remember the what was that publication that they had? It was real. I have them all somewhere. They're all kinds of sketchbook. I got in that magazine a couple times. They published my sketchbook pages, and I felt really fancy Felt so fancy. I was like, guess what? Now it's going to bug me. I can't remember the name of that magazine. It was made by the folks that did, that put on Art Fest. Tracy Vaughn and Tisha Moore. Anybody remember the name? Because I don't remember. I saw them on eBay a few years ago, those magazines, and they went for a lot of money. I was like, I could never give those up. You know what? This is kind of crazy because I made a pattern. Look at this. And I didn't want it to be a pattern. So now that I know that I did a pattern, I have to complete it properly. Or I have to do something different. You know how it goes. Maybe I'll do this instead. No, it wasn't bead style. It wasn't a bead magazine. It was like a, I guess it was like a stamping, because it was like stamping stuff. I'll think of it here in a minute. They're on my shelf. Ooh, this would be good times. Oh, and I do miss bead style, though. That was a good one. Yeah, those are delightful. Bonnie said, I saved all the Martha Stewart Living mags until recently. Oh, that was good. Liz says, was it Bead Trends? No, it wasn't a bead magazine. It was a stamping sketchbook, like self-published. I want to use that, but I wanted to put that for earrings. Let me see if I have a smaller one sitting over here. There's one that's a hair smaller. Jay and Nara's mom says, me too. I found you through Lima Beads. I ought to see if they want to do any lives together, because that would be fun. I would love to hang out with them again on a live. I don't think they do many, but maybe I can be like, hey, let's see what's happening, because they probably have a big crowd. It'd be fun to have a big crowd, but it might be a little chaotic. Yeah, some of those magazines, you know what? I was telling Azalea, because I have a huge box of, we used to advertise in a bunch of different magazines. So they would send us a free one. I mean, it's not free because when you pay to advertise, but I have so many beading magazines and I don't want to toss them. I don't want to toss them at all. There's patterns in them that if you were to buy the patterns, it would cost a fortune. Because now people publish the patterns, including myself, where you're charging, instead of a book, like my book, now if you were to like all those, it's like people don't make like the same kind of books anymore. There's just not the same market, I guess. I don't know. All right, maybe this one will be pink. Oh yeah, Lima Beads is one of my favorites. I get stuff from them for personal, for like earrings or something, or gifts. They just have a nice selection. I try to buy beads from people I know that try to get stuff that's not like. Sometimes you'll get beads and they'll take pictures of it and they'll pick out like the juiciest, best ones for the picture, and then when you get it, it's like really not good. And then you're like, whoa, why'd I buy this? That's one of the main things about, I think, ordering online, is sometimes it can be disappointing. That's like my nightmare. Someone would say, oh, these were super disappointing, because I try to pick out stuff that excites me. Cherry Tree is good. I'm going to go over to Jen, that's the owner of Cherry Tree, Jen and her family. They're wonderful people. Super nice. We are releasing a collection soon. I've got to get the watercolors done. I showed them briefly a few months ago, or maybe not even a few months, or maybe it was a few months. I'm not very good with time. But it all has to come down. It's coming down soon, so you guys will be able to buy these treasures, these carved frogs. It was amazing that I could not only pick out the stone, but it's so much. It's like they're so high tech. They can make, like, they took my drawing or my sketch, or not sketch, my sculpture, scanned it, and then made copies in the stone of our choice. It was like all of my dreams coming true at once.
That's good.
I was like, are you joking me right now? Oh, I've gone over. So, and you know what? I could tell because I could feel my vocal cords starting to strain.
I'll post that link one more time in case somebody missed it. Here you guys go. I love that kit.
Yeah, and I think Azalea put a little bit of a discount on it.
Oh, yeah, it is discounted.
It is, because, you know, when we picked all these out, I don't know if y'all know this. You probably do know this, of course. Tourmaline is not one of this super cheap stones, and neither is pink opal. That's just how it goes, unfortunately. I bought strands of opals, strands of pink tourmaline and just rainbow tourmaline that were worth more than this whole kit, or they cost more anyway. And then sometimes you get a lot of black ones. You know, a black tourmaline is supposed to keep, they say it's supposed to keep your energies from attracting unstable people. That's what it says, you know, keep the crazy away. I don't know if that's true. Maybe, you know, who knows where that came from. Maybe they were just trying to sell black tourmaline. All right, so in this hour, we put together, this is the kit here. Let me put the remainder of what's left. Scoop it up. My little bulldozer. Yeah, and it also comes with 3 little pewter handmade charms that we made. Oh, these are mine from the other thing. Pink opal, lepidolite, and rainbow tourmaline. Oh, and some clear, water clear quartz. And these guys, this rose water. How pretty that is. So that is that kit. That is the, what'd you call it?
Water lily.
Water lily. You know what? When you told it to me last time, I had a hard time remembering.
You forget it every time.
I do forget it every time. So this is the components I made. Now you can go in and put, when I say you, I mean me. Do that. There's a lot of opportunity right there. Maybe I'll do this. I have these. These are in the shop right now. Do I want that? I don't know. Tourmaline's always been expensive. I mean, I don't ever remember when tourmaline wasn't expensive. I mean, I bought this. Like, this is my most, like, my nicest strand of tourmalines. Like this. These are gem grade. Well, I always pick gem grade, like the nicest stuff. This is that indicolite I was telling you about. Look at that. The strand of this tourmaline I bought 20 years ago, and this strand was probably, I don't want to say. Y'all would be like, you paid how much?
Yep.
It was a lot, though. All right, let's do this giveaway thing. Come on, daughter. Let's get in on that.
All right,
my
so
friends. Here we go.
Them.
We have 2.
Okay. You guys are gonna have to enter it again because it did the thing. You guys go spam pewter. I don't know why we even use it. It was recommended to us, and every time we have to go and like, oh,
yeah, it doesn't
do it
collect.
again.
It did not collect them. So if you guys,
go ahead and spam it
one more time.
Hashtag pewter.
Hashtag pewter, so we can get some more in. If for whatever reason it did not gather any entries this time, I don't know why.
Yeah, I had it open the whole time. I'm not sure why it's doing this.
You never know. Oh, well, while y'all are any of them coming in?
Nope. We got problems every time. Are you guys even surprised? It's just a way of life now, just to have struggle.
Well, you don't want to say that.
Oh, here we go.
There
Here we go.
is.
It's working.
It caught up. Thank you.
Technical
It's doing it.
struggle is a way. It just happens. All right,
So
you guys.
it was capturing them. Now, okay, share screen.
I know what to do.
I'm just learning.
Yes. Okay, we got 42 entries. You guys are doing great. All right, so we have these two. For the first one, they're the same. But for the first one, who's going to get it? Pewter Unicorn. Nilda! Send me an email,
Yay!
Nilda. But I know I already have your information, so that's probably, you probably don't have to do that.
Let's
All right.
check to see if Nilda is still with us.
All right, let's check. Nilda, go ahead and
Nilda, if
comment
you're
if you're
here.
still here. We'll give her a minute.
Thank you all for joining us today on our segment. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, she's
And
here.
powering through with me while I am sick and coughing. All right, let's see who's the next person.
Sherry!
Yay,
Congrats, Sherry and Nilda. Go ahead and comment if you're still here,
Sherry,
Sherry.
if you're here, give us a high
comment.
five or something. Let us know that you are joining us.
We have a lot of people in here tonight. 59.
Katney says the good thing about that is we know we're all here.
Oh,
Yeah,
yay. You're here.
Perfect.
All right, Sherry, go ahead and send an email to either the one at the address at the top or the one on the website. Either one works, and we'll send you this giveaway. Thank you guys for playing with us.
All
Here.
right, let me
click it.
The...
Stop aiming it. I can do it here. I'm controlling the mouse pad. She's touching the mouse. We're messing everything up.
I stopped touching it.
We're like battling for the control of the computer. Are you going to switch it?
Do it.
All right, there we go.
All right, that was fun, my friends. So today we learned about making these little modular components that you can attach with more loops. That was fun. And we used our kit, the water lily kit. All right, I'm going to have some ginger tea and calm my throat down. All right, my friends, thank you for joining us. We will do something fun on Sunday, and I will have some new things to show. I have those cards that I've been working on for several months. They will be for the hand-carved frogs that will be the frogs and moons that will be, I have one over here. I don't think we're going to do this green moon. For the other one is, that's one of my carvings. So that's coming soon. All right, my friends, y'all be well. We love you out there. We'll see you soon.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.